And I'll introduce Leah. She has a video prepared as well, and she has grown up in the age of technology, so it's really been able to impact her in a much different, unique way as well.
I wasn't afraid, I was a boy, I was a tender age. Man became naked, knew a lake, and drew loves for pace. Heard a lot of waiting up, but no, it wasn't waiting up wide. Fall on and said it was over, it'd all be bad. And the frost took up the air. Pressed against the pain, could see the wings, and I was poisoned now. Resting in a race, the inner claims I had breath to share. Searching for it in a cup, may I take another bout wide. Honey in the hair, I feel the pails, and I let survey. Only was in despair. Drunk and we fleshed it out. Nose up in the clothes, you never know if you were passing out. No, it wasn't made up, the falling on a faded up wide. All up in the air, we both climbed. Love can hardly leave the room. With your heart.
The lights fade up and reveal me, a lone girl in a black dress, standing stage left. My image appears behind me, both our heads are turned down. The singer serenades the audience with, "I was unafraid, I was a boy, I was a tender age." My image and I begin to inform the audience that, simply put, everything is normal, everything is good. Even after we stumble, we decide to ignore the fall and push away doubt. But eventually, we begin to understand it's not normal and it's not good. Neither of us really allows ourselves to believe that, though, even while the image and I grow farther and farther apart. After being thrown to the ground repeatedly, I am forced to face the image again. We are now completely separate beings, looking at each other through a window. She disappears, and I am left alone on stage. It was a monster that tore us apart. I can feel the monster standing on stage with me. My fear throws me onto the floor, and I begin to panic as the image becomes further and further from my own truth, my own reality. She is obsolete, the image, the girl I was supposed to be, the girl before the monster. She is obsolete, lost, dead, and she haunts me. Eventually, I grow stronger, and I'm left alone on stage once again. The image comes back. However, now it appears that not only are we moving in opposite ways, we seem to move against one another. I realize I can never again be who I was before the monster, and the shadow of that girl is something I must rid myself of if I have any hopes of healing. We hear, "Love can hardly leave the room with your heart," and I face her for one last, final time. My strength makes her weak, and as I grow to heal, she slowly disintegrates behind me. Once more, the audience finds a lone, young girl in a black dress on stage. That girl is I, post-abuse, and I am a survivor. Doubt is so important when thank you. I go on that journey every time I watch. Doubt is so important when trying to understand the dynamics of abuse. In my case, doubt was everywhere I turned. I doubted my ability to stand alone on my own feet without my abuser. I doubted that relationships should be at all different from what I was experiencing and actually could have the potential to be better. I doubted my self-worth. I doubted that I deserved better. After being verbally tortured, physically threatened, and repeatedly sexually violated for over 9 months, I did find the strength to stop the doubt and start valuing myself enough to end the abuse. If only it could be that easy. After I had ended my relationship with my abuser, he broke into my home while my family and I were sleeping. He used my phone to text my friends about me, pretending to be me. He read my journal and watched me sleep. He began to stalk and threaten me through social media, creating multiple fake online accounts to harass myself and my close friends. He used apps to text me anonymously and called relentlessly just to leave threatening voicemails. This went on for months after we broke up. He was charged with 4 felonies a year later and ultimately went to prison for stalking. He was sentenced for 2 years, but was let out a year early. Fortunately, I have not heard from him since. In my case, technology initially made my life very scary. He was always with me, be it on my phone or on my computer, and he always had means with which to contact me and continue abusing me. Ultimately, however, I am grateful for the ease in which I was able to prove his stalking me. Everything you post on social media is permanent, and in this case, that proved to be an advantage to me. To this day, my heart races when I receive a phone call from an unknown number or a friend request from a name I don't recognize. I think the electronic stalking I underwent will always haunt me. I was given 5 to 7 minutes to tell this story. When the way in which I'm supposed to tell that story is through verbal explanation, the task is nearly impossible. Words just do not suffice. That's why I use dance. Domestic violence is, simply put, ugly. Nobody wants to listen to an ugly story. When I dance, I make this story beautiful. The act of turning ugly into beautiful is so powerful that it stops people in their tracks and demands for them to watch, listen, and accept. I am getting through this through dance, and I'm going to stop others from experiencing it at all through dance as well. I am in the process of creating an organization that will use dance as a tool, not only to help survivors heal, but to stop the violence before it begins. We will perform in schools, emphasizing the dangers of these types of relationships through an artistic and beautiful manner. We will also offer dance as a therapeutic device for survivors of this travesty. My company will be called the Sunflower Project. Sunflowers defy all odds by physically turning themselves towards the sun. This is what I believe all survivors must do. Over the recent summer, my father, who is a documentary filmmaker, and I created a short film called Untold, in which we simply have a conversation about my story. It is candid and unscripted. We also interweave this dance piece into the film. It is something that will be shared in schools as well as shown at film festivals. It is the first step the Sunflower Project has taken in action against this tragedy. I'd like to end with something my father said to me in the car over the summer, as the film Untold was just a seedling of an idea in our heads. He said, "When you've been to hell and back, it gives you something you didn't have before. It gives you a necessity to view the world in a different way and the power to express that in a different way. That's the food of creativity." Thank you.